Let's pull up the stock of Rossari Biotech. Sunil Srinivasan Chari, MD at Rossari Biotech, is now with us. However, the stock is down about 4-5%. So, not talking about the stock price, how has the demand and the performance been across various segments? Whether we talk about textile, animal health, how are things looking? Sir, I think you need to unmute your mic.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, sir. So could you start again, sir?
Yes. So for the first 9 months of the year, we did about 250 crores and 168 crores of EBITDA. This is the highest ever we ever did in our history. Demand for textiles was a little mute, but in this last few months, we see an uptick in textile also. The home personal care and the animal nutrition are the strong business areas for us. Our acquisitions, Unitop and TriStar, have done well too. So we have a optimistic view for the coming year too.
Right, Mr. Chari, this is Vinny joining in the conversation as well. I also want to talk about the HPPC segment that was impacted mainly due to the customer losses. Now, have you been able to compensate by new customer addition and onboarding on that front as well?
Yes. So if you see, our quarter-on-quarter growth in HPPC, it continues to remain strong, and we have covered up, any loss of customer sale from a customer. In terms of margins, if you see consecutively in, the entire group, we have been able to increase gross margins and EBITDA margins quarter-on-quarter for the last 3 quarters.
Right. And also, sir, what in terms of the key raw material prices, when you look at acrylic acid, that has actually seen a sharp fall in on a quarter-on-quarter basis when you compare 25% downtick on a QOQ basis. So can we expect a good recovery in terms of margins in the coming quarters? Is that going to be a sustainable one? And which segments will be leading this recovery then in margins?
If you see acetic acid, acrylic acid, butyl acrylate, all the key raw materials now have come back to nearly pre-COVID levels. And that is why our finished good prices also are less. And so the top line seems less, but the volumes, are definitely better than last year. In terms of margins, as I said, last 3 quarters we have recovered and we have, gone to 13% plus. And we are definitely hopeful for an improvement on this in the next financial year as well.
Right. So, in the last quarter, subsidiaries witnessed a slowdown due to subdued demand. How has the performance been this quarter so far? Could you also just tell us about some trends in exports as well, particularly considering the global situation?
So, especially TriStar was affected in the last quarter because of the Ukraine war. Europe is a big, demand area for TriStar. But we have seen, healthy uptick in the last couple of months from Europe. USA demand is good. We participated in an exhibition in Silicones in Netherlands last week, and we saw a very healthy demand from both Europe and Turkey at the exhibition. So I think Europe demand is holding up now, and USA, our teams were in USA, Brazil, Argentina in the last 3 weeks, and we see, there is no demand subdued in any of these areas. The financial markets, show something, but in terms of our demand on the ground, it's good.
Right. So, there has been a different sort of a move that's come into the chemical industry in India, that China, we are gaining market share. You think it's a trend which is starting, and we are seeing a lot of chemical players, right from the bigger ones like SRF to smaller ones, announcing capex, coming to markets, raising funds. You think that market share trend over the next 4-5 years is only looking better for Indian exporters?
Yes, I see, but we had a big agrochemical major meeting last week, and he events also new molecules, for capex. And there's a lot of healthy demand for the China Plus One story. We are not exactly into the China Plus One story, but we see gradually a lot of customers coming from China to India for all categories, not only for the polluting, products which has very healthy demand. Our focus is on sustainable green chemistry. As you know, our 4 chemistry areas are acrylic, surfactant, silicone. and enzymes, we see a very, very healthy demand, to replace China in every segment in the chemical industry.
Right. So also just, as you said that you're a part of the agrochemical, industry, and, the way it is happening with, every time rupee declining, you think there is an uptick to your margin which is available, especially from the Europe segment? Is that something which you're looking forward to?
If you see, USD has appreciated, so dollar exports definitely helps, and euro also has stood up well. And what we see is a weakening in the dollar index, and they say it may go less than 100. But we still see our exports are 300 crores plus, and we are focused on growing the export market well, because exports in dollars and expenses in rupees is a good way for us to grow.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us. Good to get perspective, and hope after your results you again have time to speak to us.
Thank you. Thank you for the